Hi, I'm Dr. Moira Haggerty, and I'm here to teach you today about the use of an at-breast supplement or kerosene system, sometimes called SNS or ABS, or lactation aid or supply line, depending where you work. And it's a way to provide the supplemental milk that an infant might need for growth directly at the breast. And shortly I'll teach you how we use this and how we teach it to the families we work with. And a little bit of background first about what it is. So the idea is that there would be no need for a bottle if the milk is provided at the breast, and this allows dads to learn to breastfeed by breastfeeding. It can be used for days, weeks, months, or even years in some instances. It might be used for a diet where there's maternal low supply, maybe insufficient glandular tissue of the breast, or for infant reasons that might include some challenges with a good latch, such as retronathia. And as the diet breastfeeds more with it, they get better at it, and particularly for a baby who needs to improve their sucking skills, they're getting that opportunity to do so. Without the use of bottles, there's less flow preference that occurs, and any milk can be included in it. It could be express breast milk, formula, or cow's milk for an older infant. Another advantage is that it reduces the need for a pump to be adding stimulation to the breast, because there's ample stimulation with the baby there. And weaning from the device can occur through various strategies, which I'll mention as I explain the device. So the beauty of it is that it really preserves a breastfeeding relationship for dyads where that is really the priority. And so this is now when I'll show you how it works. I prefer the do-it-yourself version, where I use a food grade plastic canister where the milk is poured, and it just has to be enough to cover the cap at the bottom. This is a 36-inch length, 5 French diameter tube, which has more width for moms to be able to place it where they so wish. I also carry the 6 French diameter tubes because some babies like the flow that's a bit faster from that. This style has 3 little holes on the end that have to be inserted enough into the baby's mouth to have suction around them. And moms do this in different ways. Some like to tape it on the breast first and then have the baby latch around it. Some moms like to just hold it with their thumb while the baby is latching, and then the baby gets on it on their initial latch. Some people like to get the baby latched first and see the baby form that seal and starting their suckling, and then sliding the tubing in the corner of the baby's mouth, just as much as for those 3 little holes to be in, and then you'll start to see the milk flowing because of the baby's suction that they're generating. And that is usually kind of like what people advance to after the first little while, when they've had it lined up and the baby latching on it. Some people who only need this for some of their feeds will slide it in after they've seen the letdown happen and that drinking slow down, whereas for other people who really rely on this for most of the milk being supplied to the baby, will always insert it into the baby's mouth or have it ready to be latched onto from the beginning of the feed, so that the baby is associating very strongly with all of their milk being provided here, and this being a happy place where the milk flows. Another way to help a baby get familiar with its use is to prime the line with mother's oral suction first, and then elevating the canister, which helps there be a few drops flowing, and the baby then tastes the milk, and then we'll start changing their sucking pattern from nibbling for stimulation to more of a milk transferring mechanic or movement. So the other designs that exist, I can show you some demonstrations. This is a Medilla product that is an older version. It has basically a canister that is flipped upside down and a clamp on the tubing. This one has only the single hole on the end and is a bit softer, flimsier, which can be preferred by some, but I generally don't have as much success with this style. Another style is the syringe, where this is also a feeding tube with the 3 holes on the end, and the syringe is filled with the milk and then can be primed with the pressure applied and slowly dispensed into the baby's mouth. I find moms don't generally like this method because their hands are tied up, and with this method, once it gets going and the baby's drinking, they have the canister down and they can be supporting the breast, holding the baby, and this is placed wherever they so wish. When a baby's learning to do this, they may appreciate the little added flow from having this elevated on a bookshelf or a coffee table, and then as they improve their skill, it can be at chest or eye level, and then even lowered below eye level so that the baby really has to drive more of the milk to flow. Sometimes I apply a little bit of olive oil on the end of the tubing to help it slide into the baby's mouth, just to get the dyad really started using it. For cleaning, I give the families a plain feeding style syringe, and it is just attached to the bottom of the tubing and washed with hot soapy water between feeds, and then aired out. And the tubes are usually good for certainly many feeds, often weeks, even months. I've had families find that they work fine for. And some families find they get a little bit of sediment or stiffened, and then that's when they would rotate to a new set. But it's very inexpensive. These are available from mills like birth supply companies, and the length of the tubing I provide is also available in a shorter version, which is a little bit less cumbersome for a baby who likes to grab as they get a little bit more handsy. I will now show a demonstration of a family using the APRA supplementer system live with their 4-month-old baby. And what's cool about this diet is they used another trick that I didn't mention, which was to slide to the tube through the hole of a nipple shield, and that was how they initially got the baby associated with direct feeding, and have since graduated from the nipple shield to no shield, and are only supplementing for about 30 mils of top up for a couple feeds of the day.
Fried.
I guess so, yeah. Okay, hold on. Girl. Oh, I think you got it too high there. It's okay. Here you go.